Hi there, it's Ed Ludbrook here, and this is a leaders briefing on a revolution in the way we use social media and network marketing, and I'm so excited about it. I believe that it will literally transform the way this industry operates. I am sure that it can add at least 100% to the growth of your business this year. And that's, I know, is a huge claim, but I am convinced it's right. And so I hope you're going to listen to the rest of this presentation. I'm going to try and keep it as short as possible, so you at least get an understanding of the power of what I'm talking about. Because when we think about it, social media should be massive. In our business, we should be the kings of social media. Social media is technology that allows you to connect and communicate to your social markets. We are the people who do business with the warm market, i.e. your social market. It should transform the way we do our business. Yeah, every survey I do, the major challenges that people face, one of those is always social media. And when I look around this industry to the use of social media, no one, and I mean no organization on the planet uses social media properly. Now, I know there's some people going, "Oh, what do you mean? We've got great social media." I bet you don't. Okay, I bet you don't. Because what people don't understand is that some companies have amazing, social media within themselves. So the company is producing great Twitter, great Facebook, great Google Plus, all this sort of stuff. Some teams have fantastic team pages. They really are. They're quite fantastic. They invest a lot of time and effort into them. But that's not the concept of social media. Just like that is not network marketing. The whole point of our business is it's all about mass use. It's all about, you make a little bit of money from a lot of people. It's always about the mass use. And when I look out into this industry, and I've asked everywhere, no large group of people is actively using any sort of social media on a mass way. And I'm absolutely certain that you will agree with me, okay? Because I have never met a leader that didn't agree with what's happening. Now, there are lots of excuses, it's just too overwhelming, it's too technical. And the whole reason why people think that way is because of it's a strategic issue. It's a paradigm issue. And what happens is that we look at social media in the wrong way. And what happens is that we look at it in a way as, here's a social media, how can we make it work in the business? How can we use Pinterest? That's the hot thing. How do we use it in our business? And what happens is that because there is so much social media, what happens is there's too much. And it becomes too confusing, and they say, hey, it doesn't work. And the other challenge is that when you look at the issues that what we know is the sort of money-making issues, which is, how do I get a customer? How do I find out someone's why? How do I sponsor them and actually get them to join the business? How do I coach them? How do I lead them? Those issues are one-to-one people issues, and social media can't do that. Okay, and that's why even when you see these people who say, "Oh, I do social media, we use it," you actually see that they're not investing their time on the stuff which actually matters. And that's why it doesn't work. And to me, it's the most powerful force that's come into our world for the last 5 or 10 years, and we're not using it because our philosophy, our strategic approach is wrong. What we need to do, this is when I looked at it, I went, hey, this is crazy, we need to fix it. Now, what happens is that when you think about it properly, we need to change it around the other way. And as leaders in the business, we need to say, hey, it's what can it be used and what can't it be used? Well, we can't use it for those 5 key things, and be thankful, because then technology would replace people. But there are 7 other tasks that can be used. Finding people, inspiring people, communicating with people. Some forms of education can be done. Okay, there are 7 tasks, and I won't talk about them now, but there are 7 tasks. And when you look at social media that way, you see that it can help us dramatically with those 7 tasks. But what we need to do is to do it in a way that is duplicatable. It's the number one rule, and that's why when I look at all these training courses on social media and all these actions, they're not duplicatable. And because they're not duplicatable, they never work, they should never be promoted, because what happens is that the average person, they've got to be mass. So it's got to be simple, it's got to be non-tech, and it's got to take only a little amount of time. Okay, so that's the way I've done it. I've gone, hey, well, there's a much better way to do it. If we know what we want to do, then we're in control. Then we can look at social media and go, which is the social media that works for us, given this duplicatable challenge and the time restrictions. And I did that and worked out how to do it. And the power of it is so cool. I want to show you on the board the real power. This is really exciting. So what I want to show you is probably the most dramatic illustration of how social media, if you use my new 100% social media system, how it will transform your business. Okay, and I know that's a big claim, but have a look at these numbers. And the numbers are pretty simple, actually, because in a normal way of doing the business, what is the first thing you ask someone to do? It's to write a list. So how many people, what is the average number of names do people write on a list? Now people go, oh, I have 100. Okay, well, I bet you didn't know, you probably might have guessed, that the average number is something like 20. The average person writes 20 people on a list. But that's not the real issue. The real issue is, what is the average number of people someone approaches? Well, you talk to a lot of veterans who've been around for a while, and you'll find that it's 5. And I'm not talking just a few people. There's always the 2%ers that'll go and talk to everyone. I'm talking the average of 100 people joining your team to build a team. What's the average number of people they approach? And it's something like 5. Even if it's 10, it's not a lot, but it's 5. So what's happening is that your business is based on a ratio that's producing only 500 approaches. And from that, you have to be sponsoring people. And that's why so many organizations either struggle to create growth or struggle to sustain it, because they don't get enough approaches. We all know that. And so we look at that, and I see all these different tips and techniques and strategies and training programs, and none of them have moved the number for decades. Okay? So, but we ask the question, why is it so low? Well, the issue here is one thing. It's simply confidence. As I said, it's not the 2%ers, it's the other 98% of people with the low confidence that we struggle to be able to use, and therefore we don't tap into the power of networking. Does that make sense to you? I hope it does. So what we do is we look at social media. Well, what can social media do? Well, social media can, if you follow my system, what happens is you'll turn around to your people and you say, I want you to write a mega list to really build your social network on Facebook. We focus on Facebook. So we go, okay, and say, what's a mega list? Well, it's, you know, your social market is maybe 500 people, but let's write 200 names. And you do the same thing, it's form and, you know, bring the phone book out and all that sort of stuff. So they write a list, and then what they do is they take the list and they go on Facebook and they just build their social market. Okay? I assume you know how to do that. But you like and message, communicate to those people and just say, oh, hi, it's Ed, you know, remember we were at school or we worked together and whatever. Okay, so I communicate with those guys. We build my social market, because who knows who wants an opportunity, but that's what Facebook is all about anyway, all right? And so let's say all of your people have 200 people on their Facebook page. The key then is, how do we communicate with them? And what I've worked out is how to do posts properly. And there are 25 different types of posts, and your people just need to understand what are the 25 different types, and then to use my 5-minute blast system. And 5-minute blast system is really simple. In the morning and the afternoon, You spend 5 minutes on Facebook, only 5 minutes, you notice I said. And what you do is you check your messages and then you send a post. And most of the posts are not even yours. But what we do is we develop the posts so they have a lot of power. I won't talk about it now, but you develop them so they've got real power, but they send 2 posts, okay? You think everyone can do that? Well, people can, because there's mobile devices and online devices. They can access it, they can do it, they can just build a habit, okay? And so now we see with 100 people, how many contacts is your team making to their warm market every day? Do you get it? 40,000 per day. That's 1.2 million per month. This is the difference between old school and using social media. I'm not saying that we don't approach and talk to people. We always need to do that. But how do we create the environment which is warm, connection? Welcome to the 21st century. This is the difference between what we were doing in the 1990s, in fact for me 1980s as well. Okay, so this is what we were doing in the old days, and these days we combined this, guys, combine. We've got to talk to people, but we create an environment where the confidence of your mass people to talk to people is increased because these people already know the cool things about the opportunity. That's why this works, guys. And so this social media program literally is unique in the world. It's a total different in philosophy, but it's for everyone. The program is only $67. It's nothing, completely guaranteed. You need to go on it. But this program is not just for you, it's for everyone in your team to work out how do I use social media effectively. What I want you to do is to join it now, because I have a bonus offer where the first 500 people who go on this program also get an exclusive coaching program with me. All right, so I want you to do this. Send this video out to all of your leaders, because the critical thing is when the leaders understand this, then they will expect everyone else to do it. And that's how we use the power of network marketing. I hope this is valuable. If you have any questions, send them to me. My email is ed@ludbrook.com. And I'm convinced this is really, really going to transform and skyrocket this business. I hope this briefing is valuable. Rock and roll. See you later. Bye-bye.